Hi, Luke.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing well. I was trying to figure out how to get on this thing.
Was it was it tough? Because it was Hi, Luke.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing? Oh, hang on.
Doing well. I was trying to figure out how to get on this thing. No, I was just looking for a Zoom thing, and then I realized I had to register and all that. So
Oh, got it. I thought I had registered you. So I apologize for that not coming in.
you're good. No, I was just looking for a Zoom link, and I saw in the email just the registration deal. But anyways, yeah. So tell Davin and them and Scott. I was calling them like, hey, how the heck do I get on?
Let me see if I can get Davin in here. I don't know if I think Scott's traveling today.
Okay.
Hang on just a second. So where are you from, Luke?
I'm from Logan, Utah.
Okay. Very nice.
Yep, from Logan, Utah. Um, Still living here. We're gonna figure out where we're gonna be going here in a little bit. How about you? Where are you from?
Just north of Detroit.
Nice.
Yeah,
So are you a Lions fan then?
I am. Yeah, I am.
Very
So
nice.
more recently than earlier.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
It's been a little bit easier of a time to be a Lions fan recently. So
Right. Well, you guys have had a pretty good run, I would say.
yeah,
So is the fan base, they like Jared Goff pretty good then? And
they do. Yeah, they do. And Dan Campbell's always been a really good. I mean, he's such an involved coach in the
right.
Detroit area. Like it's just awesome. So
That's great.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. I don't know Jared all that well. I played against him in college and then we used the same agency. So he came when I was going to the draft prep stuff and he
Okay,
seemed like a great dude. So
awesome. Good
yeah,
deal.
yeah, happy to see him having some success or a lot of success, not some.
Yeah.
Like to see him win it.
Yeah, it would be really nice.
Nice.
Really nice. Um, all
So
right.
is Davin the one that's leading this then, or
Well, it's either Davin or Scott, and I'm trying to figure out where either one of them are. So bear with me
yeah,
for just a second.
that's right. Yeah, Davin was so 10 a.m. had to be at Mountain, so I said, all right.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. There's a few people in the waiting room. I'm gonna leave those folks in the waiting room for a moment.
Perfect.
Actually, one of them is Davin's father.
Oh, nice. He's wanting to see how good his son is at interviewing. So how do you know
Yeah.
Davin and Scott then? Have you been working with them for a while?
Yeah, so I've been working with Davin since 2021. Um,
Okay.
Davin and I founded Purpose Point together, so it's
Oh,
kind of
cool.
like employee number three. And
Nice.
so I've been just kind of in the background helping Davin out for a long time, and got to meet Scott in 21. And um, when they, started growing this thing called Mason Vero, they reached out and said, "Hey, we need some help on the back end of things and making sure that you know things are running smoothly and kind of somebody to run operations while they're out
Out
being
recruiting and getting
out
people.
out
That
recruiting."
it seems like it's going really well for them.
It is, yeah, it is. So
That's good stuff. And
Awesome.
then,
Well,
and there's another gal that is in Michigan. Do you know her then?
Lisa. Yeah.
Lisa. Yeah.
Yeah. Lisa. So Lisa was part of Purpose Point with us.
Gotcha.
And
I figure I should have figured all these Michigan people were connected to Devin then.
yeah, exactly. So, well, let me see if I can call Davin really quick
Okay.
or Scott, see if I can get a hold of some. If not, I'll interview you.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
You go
I
ahead
guess
and interview.
I'll kind of step in and pull the executive decision to do the interview here myself.
Perfect.
Um, I'm gonna go ahead and let actually let's just keep the two of us in here for now. And then that way we can kind of record it and cut it up later if that's cool with you.
Sounds fine. Yeah.
Because there's really just Davin's dad that's in the waiting room right now. So
Okay. Cool.
awesome.
So it was
So
supposed yeah, it was supposed to be a live thing, right? So what
yeah,
what was going on?
so I do have it running live on YouTube right now. Nobody's in it, but again, we can cut it up and slice it up later.
Okay. Sounds good. No
Sound good?
worries. Yep.
Awesome. Well, cool. So tell me a little bit about your experience with Mason Vero. Like, how did you come about finding these guys? I know you knew Scott from the past, and just would love to kind of hear your story about coming into this and publishing the Mind Strength playbook with these guys. And
Yeah, well, first off, Scott is my literary agent and then speaking agent. And Scott one time gave me great advice. He said to shave off my mustache. So I thought Scott was going to be interviewing me today, and I got this thing here just for him to show how much advice, I took it to heart. But anyways, no, I was fortunate enough. You want to write a book, and then you're kind of like, well, what the heck? What are the options? How do I do it? And started down that process, met Scott. My aunt knew Scott and his family, and so I was able to get connected there, which was kind of the first domino falling down. And then Scott really helped me go through the process of, hey, here are your options. You can self-publish. You can try to go the traditional publishing route, which when your book is completed, it's going to take 16 months before it gets out to print. And then, you got all these other things. You don't have creative control. And then, I don't think that they had this Mason Vero thing until a little bit later. And then he presented it to me. He said, hey, would you want to do this? It's professional publishing. You get creative content, you get control, you get the professional feel and look of what you would get from one of the major publishers, but then you also have, your own content, you own everything, and we're going to be able to get it out very quickly. Like when it's done, we can get this thing out here in whatever timeline that you want. It really comes down to getting the book written. And then, the whole team is incredible. I mean, I had white glove service the entire time. I had weekly meetings with Davin, touch base with Scott on certain things. They got me in contact with Platt and his daughter Kennedy Clark. Those guys, and they're amazing. I mean, without them, this book isn't what it is. I wouldn't be proud of it to a certain degree because I mean, Platt really helped formulate this book and get the aesthetics, the feel of it all. And then, they got me in touch with some great designers. Zach helped design the cover. It looks amazing. And then Mel did all the design on the inside. And the fun part about it is I was able to have control of it. Hey, I like this. I like this color. I like this style, rather than what I've been told. What the traditional route is, you just really don't have that much say. Maybe they give you option A and option B, and you get to tell them, hey, I like option B, you know.
Yeah.
And then from the self-publishing thing, I didn't want it to look, I want it to be a great book. I want it to be something that I would want to buy and read and not just look like it's janky and there's all these errors and grammatical misalignments and stuff like that. So it's, I couldn't be more happy. And then the other thing too, like they let me know is if you have any changes that you want to make, we can get that done very quickly and upload it, get the new stuff all ready to go on all the major platforms. And that was true. So I had something I wanted to change in there, wanted to swap out a QR code and reached out to them. And within 2 weeks, it was done, which normally that would, you have to sell out your allotment of the books. And then, so anyways, it's been very, very flexible, truly a hybrid deal, great professionalism, great people in in Mason Vero. And just like any great organization or great feat, it all takes a team around you. So that was definitely the case with this book. So definitely pushing people that way because as an author, you get in there and like, well, what do I do? What are my options? Where do I start? And these are great people to start with. Even if you're not going to go with them, they have such knowledge in the industry that they can direct you on, hey, here are really the three options that you have. And they
Yeah.
can discuss what those buckets are, and then you can make the choice for yourself of what one you want to pursue.
That's great. So how far along in the writing process were you whenever you started engaging and talking to Scott?
Well, the actual writing of the book, not much. I had done a book proposal. That's what I gave to Scott to see if he would want to represent me. And then part of the book proposal that I did, so I followed a thing called, can't remember what it was called. It was like author, I could pull it up for any of the listeners that want to take a peek at it. Because my sister had bought this Prepare to Publish. So it was this
Okay.
kind of online gal that is really great in the industry, helps authors with their story. I can't remember her name specifically, but my sister had bought her program, so we were doing it together. And part of it was helping you get a book proposal to then take to an agent. And so I had the book proposal. It was 50 something pages. I had outlined all my chapters, the idea, the market, why it's important. And then part of that is I wrote two sample chapters. And so those two sample chapters are all that I wrote. And then when I got to with Mason Vero, then I met with Platt, and then I gave Platt, this is the idea that I've got. This is my book proposal. And then Platt really helped me formulate, okay, this is how I think the chapter structure should be. This is who I think we should talk to. This is kind of be our rhythm and our pace. So then you're going to crank it out. You're going to write this, and then we'll go from there. And so those early chapters, they really suck. People say that your first edit's not very good. Oh, terrible, terrible, terrible. I had like a reader feedback group give me feedback on it, and they're nice and stuff. But my wife and my sister are like, this is too prescriptive, too boring. Tell your story, make it more story driven. People enjoy that, and then you can weave in these skills and tools around it. So
Yeah.
glad I got that message from them, and then glad I got the professional help with Platt and Kennedy to help get the message that I wanted out there.
Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. So one of the things that Davin talks about a lot is, the book is really just kind of a piece of a bigger picture, right? So what is that bigger picture for you? What does your book offer to you as far as you and your aspirations in life?
Yeah, and that's kind of I take the same piece that Davin gave me and Scott. Like, if you're looking to publish a book and launch your career as an author and you're going to sell millions of copies, probably a good chance that's not going to happen. But if you want to write it as a tool to help further your business or further your message or further your opportunity to expand, your horizon, all that, it's a great tool. So for me, it's a great, it's like a business card for me. You want to know what my work's about. You want to know what I coach with. Here's my book. Rather than giving my business card, great. You can go look up my book, or I can give you my book right here, and they can see what it's about. It's provided me a lot of business, and then in particular, I've created a mind strength athletic department program around it, where the teachings and the skills and the principles in this book and the format of it, that's the exact thing that I'm selling to high school athletic departments and college athletic departments to help their student athletes become mind strength certified. So for me, it's my curriculum. and being able to have that. And I think there's a lot of people that want to write books and they've got that desire. Well, gosh, how cool it is that I did it. For so long I wanted to write a book, and now I can say I'm a published author. And just with the team that I had, I wouldn't have wanted to do it any other way because I wanted to have the look and the feel, and I wanted this to be the title, and I wanted this to be the look of it, and I wanted the flow of it to go this way. And I just, it's everything that I wanted it to be. Like everything I wanted in a book, it's that because of the content and the creative control that I had. And then most importantly is, if you're running a business, you want people that are way better than you on your team. Well, that's exactly what I had with this book. I had experts in their field that really elevated the core message that I had in there. And then it makes it in a presentable way that it's just, I've gotten a ton of great feedback from it. Like, man, we really love this book.
Well, that's good. That's really
Yeah.
good. Now remind me, when did the book launch?
October 24th. Yep, launched October 24th. It was fun. I was able to go up to Pullman, Washington at my old alma mater, Washington State. Went to a football game there and did a book signing before the game, did book signing after the game. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun being able to go back there and be around a lot of Cougs who were obviously a big part of my story and
Sure.
have always provided me a lot of support.
Well, that's great. That's great. So what's
Yeah.
the next like 6 to 12 months look like for you as far as how you're continuing to promote the book, promote yourself? Is there anything?
Yeah, well, Davin and Scott are really big on the social media stuff. It's free advertising to a certain degree. So, I haven't been as great at it the last few months, been dealing with some other things going on, but just kind of having a rhythm and a cadence of being able to post stories here and there. And what was great for me, part of my book is my social media posts, they were like feedback for me, right? Rather than having a reader feedback group, I had a social media feedback group. Did they
Yeah,
enjoy the story? Did they like the story? I had some stories that were in the book that got 500,000 views and over 1 million views and things like that. I'm like, obviously the message is hitting and resonating with certain people. So it's the same thing, just taking things that are from the book, we're taking new ideas and concepts and being able to post them and really trying to help get your message across and help people in that regard. So that's a big one. And then, like I said, I made this thing into a program. So I'm talking with athletic directors, I'm talking with coaches, I'm talking with people in the space and the target audience that I have, business leaders and stuff as well, about this book and my message, my program. And I'm even meeting with Platt again on, hey, I'd like to, not a 2.0 of this book, but I'd like to, get another thing out that I think could really help some people. So working
that's
on,
great.
something called Mind Strength Weight Room, which is it'll be a daily type of deal. You come in and just get a short short workout, but something that's fun and enjoyable. But definitely would go back through Mason Vero. I just can't imagine going a different way or a different process unless a publisher said, hey, we're going to pay you $1 million, which
Right. Yeah.
like there's not many of those out there. But the way that I've done it, yeah, I mean, I want the same team. I'd say let's strike up the band again, let's go do this again together.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, Ed, I imagine you were talking to athletic directors and coaching and athletic programs before you launched the book. How has the book helped with those conversations with, prospecting for lack of a better word in your business?
Yeah, well, for me, it's fun because if I get a client now and they want to start working with me, well, one of the things I have them do is I have them either read the book or I have them go do the Mind Strength Mastery program because it's like a vetting system for me. And then, do they like my coaching? Do they like the skills and the tools that they're going to learn? Do they like the style? And also for me, are they committed enough to go and do those things? And if they are, then great. I want to work with them. I want them to be part of what I'm doing. So it's been a great tool in that regard. And then, like for instance, Utah State, their basketball coach, Gerald Calhoun. So my old basketball coach, his name's Logan Brown. He's at Green Canyon here in Utah. And he had bought my book for his team. And, you know, Coach Calhoun is good friends with Coach Brown. He saw the book, thumbed through it, and he said, hey, will you come speak to our team? At Utah State. So without the book, I'm not going and speaking to Utah State's basketball team. So
Right.
just things like that where, I think you have more of it's like a collection of all your thoughts into one book in one format. and people can go, I like it or I don't like it. And if I like it, then great, it's going to lead to something like I'm
Yeah.
working with a family right now. How did they find me? Right here through the book.
That's great.
Working with a business deal, with a business, did some keynote stuff. How'd they find me? Right there. So it's just, it's another avenue that people can go down. And then it's also a very cheap entry point, $19 or $21 in order to get a ton of valuable content and to see, hey, do we want to pursue continuing going down this road with this guy?
Well, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great. Now, what would you say is your target audience? I heard you mention families. I heard you mention, athletic programs,
Yeah.
businesses. What's kind of what's your niche or
That's a
niche?
good question. Still try to figure it out myself, but primarily, athletes and coaches, like teams, athletic departments type, and then really the business leaders, the people that are looking to get the next edge within what they're doing. A lot of like CEO type people within small companies or businesses in that regard. Because, you know, most people played sports. And then when they read the book, they can go, oh, that applies here in business. Like the primary audience of who I'm talking to in the book is athletes, coaches, and then even parents within, of an athlete. But the secondary audience is I've had so many business leaders go, wow, this is so applicable to what we're doing here. Will you come in and teach these mind strength skills into our sales department or into our HR or whatever it is? So it's been very fun in that regard, because I was at the beginning with Plaid. I'm like, hey, I don't want to like limit myself on what this is doing. He's like, hey, the more focused you are, the better off the message is going to be, and people are going to resonate with it. And I'm
Mm,
so glad we went with that advice because the people that I didn't want to exclude, well, they definitely felt like, hey, this message is great for me as well.
yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
great. Well, that's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. So, we've got about, 5 more minutes or something. What would you say has been kind of the biggest, I'll say, mind shift with publishing a book? Because I imagine there was probably a state of mind that you were in before you published a book, and it was probably a little bit of overwhelm. And to where you are today, like what would you say is the biggest shift from before you became an author to now a published author, best-selling
Yeah.
published author?
Well, it's kind of like, I think I had a theory before and I have a knowing now. It's much greater to have a knowing. Like I always appreciated professors in college that were adjunct professors because they were
Yeah.
running their business rather than having a theory of how to run a business. And so having gone through the experience, I don't now just have a theory, I have a knowing of what I like and what it's about. And before, my theory was I'd like to get a traditional publishing and I'm going to have all these, all that stuff. And it's funny, Scott's kind of like the he'll pop the balloon to a certain degree of people's dreams and goals. I'm sure he meets thousands of authors that think they are going to have the number one New York Times best-selling book, which that would have been me. And when I first got into it, I'm glad people have that mindset. But for me now, it's like, hey, I don't necessarily want to go down that traditional path unless it was a phenomenal deal, which those are hard to come by. Not saying that somebody can't. But for me personally, what I'm doing within my own business and stuff, the professional publishing model works a whole lot better for me, given that I have the control of the timeline, I have control of the content, I have control of the design, I have the control of the feel, I own the rights. It's a lot more control in that regard, where you're not just giving something away and you kind of hope for the best and hope they do a good job. So that's for me. So I think it's shifted my mindset of going, hey, I want to get a book deal to, hey, I want to make sure that this book that I'm writing, there's something beyond it that's going to carry the message. I'm not just writing a book for the sake of writing a book and becoming an author. I want it to be a tool to help with something else. And that's been the biggest shift for me, viewing it like an extension of some of the material and the content that I have. Right.
Well, that's
So,
great.
yeah.
Well, that's great.
And I know I don't want to do the self-publishing thing. I've seen some self-publishing books, and you can
You
you
can
can tell
tell.
right away, and it's like,
Yeah.
that's self-published. Not saying that there's anything wrong with some of those. It's just, this does not look like a book that was self-published. It looks very professional. And they just got so much knowledge of it. And what I love about Maison Vero is They don't have theory. Like they are also published authors themselves, and they've gone through the traditional publishing route. And then Scott, he's a literary agent for crying out loud. He's dealing with the major publishers and major authors, and he's seen, all sides of it. Then Davin's experienced it from being an author himself, and just having their wisdom and their experiences, once again, not theory, but knowing, it really helped me on my path. And like I said, they've forgotten more than I'll ever know in this field. So it's good to have and surround yourself with people who are much, much better than you
Yeah.
and leading the way.
Well, that's great. That's great. Well, I'll leave you with a question. And this is more of a maybe a personal, question that would help me more than it would. I guess, how could Mason Vero continue to support you and promote the things that you're doing and continue to get the word out there?
I think you guys are already doing a good job of that right now. Like having this podcast, I think this is a great tool for, when I was writing my book, I was looking up podcasts left and right about how to publish a book. So having a resource like this, I think is going to help people. And what it's doing for me is, hey, I got the book, the Mind Shrink Playbook. So what is it doing? It's promoting my book. I think they've done a good job on social media as well of including, you know, posting about people. And then you can really see the Mason Vero community coming out and saying, hey, they're trying to help promote it in that regard. But I just think it's you guys are already on the right path of caring and circling back, touching base, providing opportunities for the authors to get featured, which you're already doing. Like I got an email from Scott yesterday about an event coming up. So, there's a lot of things coming that always kind of get recircled, or you get back into the mix of trying to get your book out there and promote it and your business as well.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
good. Good. Well, I appreciate the time today, and I appreciate the grace in letting me interview you and not stabbing
Hey,
us.
no worries, no worries. I'm the guinea pig. I was the first official Mason Vero author. I told him I'd be a great evangelist. So,
I love it.
there's some hiccups along the way, I'm sure, and everything. But listen,
Yeah.
you're a great interviewer. Scott's been
Oh, thank
doing the interview process. I think you're right up there with him on the skill level.
We won't tell Scott that.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I appreciate that. Well, very good. Well, it's been great to kind of meet you and great to have this quick conversation. And yeah, if there's ever anything you need from us or me, you've got my email address and everything. So feel free to.
Perfect. Yeah, great meeting you. And then tell Dav and Scott hello for me. And you guys, I'll keep pushing people your way for those that are interested, and you
Appreciate
guys
it.
can help sift them out. So,
Very good. All
okay,
right.
have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
See
Appreciate
see ya.
you.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.